At that time, Jesus went down to Capernaum, a city of Galilee, and he was teaching them on the Sabbath. And they were astonished at his teaching, for his word possessed authority. And in the synagogue there was a man who had the spirit of an unclean demon, and he cried out with a loud voice, what have you to do with us, Jesus of Nazareth? Have you come to destroy us? I know who you are, the Holy One of God. But Jesus rebuked him, saying, Be silent and come out of him. And when the demon had thrown him down in their midst, he came out of him, having done him no harm. And they were all amazed, and said to one another, What is this word? For with authority and power he commands the unclean spirits, and they come out. And reports about him went out into every place in the surrounding region. The Gospel of the Lord. My dear brothers and sisters in Jesus Christ, yesterday in the Gospel reading, we were at Nazareth, and Jesus stood up to read from the scroll of prophet Isaiah. And we are told that he won the gracious approval of all, not some, all. Then he sat down. That's the position a rabbi takes when he wants to expound the scriptures. And all eyes were fixed on him. What will he say? Everyone senses the moment and is attentive. Finally, they have recognized his rhetorical skills, but they have doubts about his claims. The skepticism argues that Jesus' claims are excessive for a Galilean Jew. The issue is not what Jesus said, but who Jesus claims to be. How could this neighbor of theirs be the fulfillment of the prophecy of Isaiah? Then Jesus, in quoting the proverb, "Physician, heal yourself," implies that the audience is asking him for a sign to prove his claims. The people of Nazareth have asked to receive the same treatment as Capernaum. Evidently, Jesus' work at Capernaum, a Galilean town located about 30 miles away on the west shore of the Sea of Galilee, did not go unnoticed in Nazareth. The town of Capernaum will become the center of Jesus' activity of his ministry. Today, today's gospel brings us to Capernaum. The reaction Jesus received in Capernaum is much different from that which he received in Nazareth yesterday. He performs an exorcism. Word spreads quickly about Jesus, and the people are astonished. What was it that impressed the people of Capernaum? They recognized the authority and power with which Jesus spoke and acted. But why didn't Nazareth receive him, but instead probed his family antecedents or lineage? The people of Capernaum, you might say, were open to the gift of faith, whereas those in his hometown, Nazareth, wanted to kill him by throwing him headlong down the cliff. Eventually, dear friends, brothers and sisters, Jesus will encounter resistance also from the people of Capernaum. But for the moment, their initial response is one of faith. This brings us to a reflection. An important question that we may ask: what makes us accept Jesus as we begin our journey? But then as the journey proceeds, we gradually drift away from him. It happened at Nazareth, and it will happen in Capernaum later. We do not remain focused on the Lord. As we experience our daily toil, our eyes do not remain fixed on the Lord. We slumber, as the first reading to the Thessalonians tells us. In moments of weakness, we stumble in confusion. We lack the direction, for we momentarily take our eyes away from the Lord. And some of us may even feel lost. We have turned our gaze away from the Lord. Therefore, the gracious words of Jesus at Nazareth and those spoken in Capernaum with power and authority are welcome. What sort of authority and power do you need Jesus to exert over your life today? Think of a small child who is frightened, and when this happens, the child turns to a loving parent for comfort and security. The embrace of a parent immediately helps to dispel the fear and worry of the child. So it is with us. We must see Jesus as the source of the calm in our lives. He is the only one, dear brothers and sisters, who is capable of ordering our lives, freeing us from the attacks of the evil one, bringing peace and calm to our disordered emotions and clarity to our questions and doubts. But this will only be possible if we are open. His power never changes, but it can only enter our lives when we recognize our weakness and our need for Jesus to take control of our lives. Let us reflect, dear brothers and sisters. What is hindering Jesus from taking that control over our lives, over my life? What sin or temptation you want Jesus to rebuke in your life? From what oppression you want him to set you free? Imagine you are in Capernaum. As a member of that town, you are welcoming Jesus into the town. You are amazed at him, at his authority and power. Are you afraid? Are you afraid that amazement will weaken from familiarity with Jesus as time goes by? If yes, replace familiarity with intimacy. Intimacy builds up, and it should. That's what's needed. My most powerful Lord, you and you alone are able to take authority over my life and bring order and peace. Remove any doubt and stubbornness from my heart so that I can open myself to you and your grace. Take authority of my life, dear Lord, and lead me into your most holy will. Jesus, I trust in you.